Hello and welcome to Inside the Hive. I'm Ashley Kellish, proud member of HIVE Nurse, here with my esteemed colleague, Dr. Elizabeth Walters. And today we have a very special episode for you. So we are really interested in the entrepreneur space that nursing has brought to the healthcare industry and beyond today. And so who better to talk to us about it than a founder of Nurspreneur Programming? And we are here with Sara Aleem, and she's going to tell us a little bit about her business and her backstory. But more than anything, we really want to hone in on what if you're thinking about being an entrepreneur? What are some things that you can do to help be successful out there? So Sara, we are very excited to have you. I know that actually Elizabeth is the one who connected us to all of you, but we're just so thrilled that you're here and can share with the Hive what it takes to be a nursepreneur in today's environment.
Well, thank you so much, Ashley and Elizabeth. Thank you for having me. And just in spirit of Nurse Hive, I wore my blue color.
Scrubs. She's in her blue scrubs.
Yes,
looking great. Yes.
When you get super excited and when you're in very good company, you get lost in some words. So in my spirit, I am wearing Nurse Hive colors. So I'll introduce myself. My name is Sara Aleem. And my company name is Elysian Medicine and Digital Marketing. You guys will have a quick quiz about it because it's mouthful. And what we do in this company is help nurses, doctors, and chiropractors have better business strategies, better branding strategies, marketing strategies, social media analysis, and stuff like that. We do business audits. We do LinkedIn audits. We have a huge array of things that we do based on where people are in their entrepreneurship journey, because not one size fits all. And we will dive a little bit into this. There are certain things that are true for all businesses, but not all businesses are the same. So we do all of those analysis to make sure that people get most out of our services and where they need it the most.
Yeah. Well, I think it's really awesome that Sara and I met at the Nursing Magnet Conference, which is the biggest nursing conference in, I think, the world. There were like 15,000 nurses there. Mm-hmm. And Ashley and I were really excited to be in the Nurse Innovators Row that was hosted by Johnson & Johnson. And we were there and we got to meet a ton of nurses that were doing nursepreneurship or nurse entrepreneurship that started their own businesses and things like that. And Sara's been helping us with our own marketing and our own website redesign and all the things. So my first question is, what is the most important thing that nursepreneurs need to do when they're thinking of starting a side hustle?
So there's three major ingredients to all entrepreneurship. And by the way, nursepreneurship is where a nurse takes their own intellectual property and design a business around it.
Well, yes.
So that's what because sometimes we see so many problems in healthcare. I just want to give you a little bit of background just so that people who are not familiar with this space, they understand. You have a brilliant idea. You may not have the infrastructure to support it, but you have a way to make it into a business. So you need certain kind of support system around it. And that ties to the question that you're asking. Three things are most important. A lot of the people that have come to me in the recent 6 to 8 weeks are people who are coaches, people who are legal nurse consultants, people who have gone into certain other innovation ideas like yours are micro-learning and that kind of space. And there's one person who is going into engineering side as well within nursing. So three things are most important: budget, time, concept, execution.
Yeah.
Concept.
So when you're looking at, there are lots of nurses or doctors that I see, they see an idea, it looks good on paper, and they say, if she can do it or he can do it, I can do it too. But the thing is, when you're designing a business, it's your journey because you're no longer working under anybody. You're a boss now. So you have to think.
You hear that?
We are. We're the boss.
I've been trying to say that my whole life. Thank you.
So you have to make those executive decisions. So the inception of the concept, when it starts from budget handling, time handling, really think about if nurses are watching this, especially if nurses are watching this, go back into what you were taught as SMART goals.
Oh, I love SMART goals.
Yeah. So SMART goals that if this is the budget, this is the time in this time frame. This has really helped me work with nurses who are especially wanting to take my services in terms of business strategy. And I'm working with these beautiful ladies on this realm as well.
Do we have SMART goals?
Yes,
we have
we do.
Good job.
We had SMART goals from the onset
I
of the
don't doubt it.
business.
I don't doubt it.
Because we approached things with a QI methodology.
Yes, well, yeah, we sure did. Yes,
You
we're
have
and
very
I joke, but
smart-
we do.
You have really smart goals, and I love your concept. But we are taking it to the next level.
We are.
We are no longer this project needs to go way, way, way
Yes.
to all the nurses. I love the project that you're doing. But coming back to that, coming back to SMART goals. So a lot of the coaches and legal nurse consultants, they already have spent 25K or 10K into the course. But see,
Right.
when you take a course, they're teaching you to become expert in that area. They're not teaching you to become business entrepreneurs or brand
Right.
makers or marketers and stuff like that. So any entrepreneur should budget that I should have at least 10K on top of the courses that you're giving in order to start a business. So if you're just going into side hustle immediately, you're first going to have to take a course or some kind of a stuff. And that is sometimes very difficult to juggle with. Some people have taken overshifts as well to manage their
Right.
financial needs and stuff like that. So I think the other thing, time framing, you should always have somebody who can consult you that this is my business strategy and this is how long I want to achieve these goals. And then also concept, if your concept is going to look the same as somebody other next door, it's not going to sell. So one of the best ways to beat that competition in a healthy way is a strategic partnership. And the other one is branding, because what you look like, how you execute yourself digitally, if your appearance is different and your messaging is different, automatically your business would look different.
Mm-hmm.
So these are some of 3 big things that I tell everybody.
Yeah.
That this is important.
Let's talk budget. Let's talk about the money.
Let's talk about the budget.
Let's talk about the Benjamins here.
Especially today, because nurses don't make a ton of money.
No.
Right.
And the capital that you need sometimes to carry out something new and innovative can be tremendous. And preparing for that or planning for that. And what I've seen in my experience, especially in organizations, is that nurses have so many ideas, but they are chained to the work that they do because they don't have the capital to step out and develop something, or they don't have the wherewithal to plan a budget to help them get there. So what would you say to our friends out there trying to do this while working at the bedside?
So this is for people who have nurses who have actually gone into financial sector. I do have a lot of nurses in my LinkedIn who have come from financial area. If you want to grow your business, one of the best ways to grow your business is help newer nurses who are, a best way, in my opinion, and this is truly from an opinion, the best way for everybody to grow in nurse entrepreneurship route or nursepreneurship route is to take help from each other, use each other as resource.
Yeah.
So if you see a financial resource person who is a nurse, ask them, how should I plan my business?
Yes.
I need
Yeah.
I'm telling you, you need at least 10K to start your business outside of your course.
Outside of your training.
Outside of your training.
I mean, that alone in itself is a very helpful tip, because I don't think people know where to even start when it comes to that.
So the first step is to save $10,000.
Yeah.
Which feels like a lot. And I think one of the things too that Ashley and I did is we partnered together,
Yeah,
right?
we did.
Like we are 50-50 partners. So we bring in each, so it was a little bit easier for each of us to have to just throw in 5K each. And being able to, for me, I'm as a nurse practitioner, per diem nurse practitioner, I just worked some extra shifts to put that money aside. So I was like, this is HIVE Nurse money.
Yes. And for me, I've worked in consulting now for over 10 years, and it was always an extra thing for me. But what's interesting is now, and with your help and support and Elizabeth, I have a whole different mindset of it. I was just sort of doing it for fun because I could, and it filled my cup, because it was like I could teach people all across, the globe in these different ways. But it really wasn't thinking about looking at myself as an entrepreneur. And I just have to tell you, so the other day, my mom, who someday we should have her on the podcast.
We need to have both our
We need both our moms on the podcast. But so she never has understood what I do, ever. She knows I'm a nurse, but then from there, and she's getting better at it. But the other day she said, I was listening to something on the news and I realize now what you are. And I was like, this is going to be great.
What is
You're an entrepreneur. She said it out loud. She said, you are creating new things. You're always innovating. You're always thinking differently. And I think that I never saw myself as that. But now we're doing it.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. When you're planting a garden, you need money, right?
I thought you were going to say the water. You know, pour the water, let them grow. She's like,
you need money first.
It's true, but nurses don't put themselves out there like that.
No. So, I mean, say you're under the cocoon of your hospital or clinic, you're staying under their shadows like a like a troll, like a
Let's not go down that path. Everyone's going to say they're trying to get everybody to quit. No. But
Yeah,
I know what you're saying. You're sort of like cocooned in it.
Yeah. I did not know what would be the best option, but you're part of that ecosystem, but you don't have like individual presence. Now you're
Right.
moving to a different land. You're like, okay, I see a problem. I'm going to plant that seed of solution in a land that supports it.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
So you cannot do it without having any infrastructure unless you have gone through the investor route, which is a totally different podcast. So the next best option is strategic partnership, which you have already seen an example. I too, in my business, even though I don't have many people in what I do as a nurse space, but I do have people who have now come as strategic partnerships and stuff like that, which I also teach to people who are looking into business route as well. So,
and Sara, you are a nurse.
I am.
So we need to call that out.
Yes.
You are a nurse leading entrepreneurship for nurses. I mean, this is the ultimate. So how did you get there?
There are lots of touch points, and one of them is also a video that I made, and it's on my social media. I would love for the audience to check it out. But the starting point of this was me crying with a patient for 45 minutes. Mm-hmm. It was at the bedside. And for a very long time, my family is very medical oriented. My grandfather was 7 generations of medical doctors, and my uncle is a doctor. When I first came to USA, he said you should go into nursing route. And I just did not like it because I was like, I have seen the trauma with my dad going through cancer. I just don't want to be part of it. There was a lot of him taking nursing route at that time. That was circa 2007, 2008, was a very emotionally hard route. So coming back to 2022, a cancer patient who was absolutely healthy and she came to a hospital after having a dance class, and she found out she has stage 4 cancer, very poor prognosis, like really 6 months, very debilitating condition, not very good infrastructure around her family. She had children who were suffering through medical conditions, family that wouldn't support her, like really not good circumstances to be around. And so she asked this question, I only have 6 months to live. How am I going to tell this to my children? And it brought me back to what I experienced with my own dad. Mm-hmm. Like he would be distant because he didn't want me to feel sad. Mm-hmm. But that's exactly the thing that made me not involved with his care. And so we explored those options at what you're leaving, you're you still have a lot to give them in those 6 months, especially your legacy.
Yes.
And so that's what I wanted to leave her with, but I just cried and it left. That was the inception. But then a lot of the touch points were the systemic issues, me going as a travel nursing, that also helped me explore what are the other systemic issues. And one of the things as a nurse leader, I found that people are not purposefully going to these doctors and nurses who are really the first thing that they should go instead of coming to a hospital for chronic diseases.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Right. So my company's name is Early Detection, Early Intervention Leading to Better Prognosis. So I really want to help and empower nurses and doctors who are trying to change the infrastructure of healthcare. So the people who can be, kind of get to help in the rudimentary stages of dis-ease, they can do that. Yes. And coaching and a lot of different programs, including education-based like yours, do help them. They empower nurses to be better educators for the patient.
Yeah, right. Yes. Yeah. Wow, that is such a beautiful story.
Oh, I even had like little
You were
bumps.
just feeling the feels
I have
today.
feels today.
I don't know what it is. It could be a full moon.
I don't know. I
So
think
lots
it's
of
like
emotions
she brought
from
a
you.
lot of her rainbows from Florida. They just
I
ended
did.
up in my office.
We can use rainbows. All nurses
Yes.
can use rainbows
Yeah.
any day of the week.
Well, what an amazing story to really hone sort of the why of what you're doing and how you're helping nurses. We talked about money, which is a big subject,
Mhm.
but let's talk a little bit more about that sort of um, drive or presence, or sort of like what Sarah's been helping us with is like, what's our brand, right?
Yeah.
So like, what's the essence?
Mhm.
What do nurse entrepreneurs need to do to get their essence out there?
In marketing and branding, there's a term called unique selling point. So my area of expertise is figuring out I have developed consciously from my nursing field and from my biotechnology field some 20 to 30 questions that that's an intellectual property
Mhm.
thing that I talk to people very intentionally and figure out how they are unique, even if they're doing the same business, even it has the same name. What is so different about you? And really, because a lot of nurses and doctors and chiropractors, they're humble. They don't
Yes.
have that ability to go inside of them and just do it. They just need to speak to somebody who can help them see, did you do this kind of a thing or this kind of a thing? So these are the questions that help me. And from there, I designed their brand, something that really helps them stand out with and having their own space. It's your land, your space, your flag.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. It's important to plant your flag at the top of your mountain,
Mhm.
right? And be able to really explain to people what sets you apart, what your expertise is. With Sara has been really helpful for us with our branding. We've met several times in person, and she asks the hard questions. Why are you different? Why are you special? What is so great about you and your partner, and what you're doing and what you're bringing to the landscape? And I think that has been really helpful for us as a company to drive our essence and our brand. Like, we're getting ready to do a big website relaunch, so look out for that soon. But it's really, really been very helpful at understanding how this product is going to change nursing and change healthcare.
Mhm.
Well, and I think coming to terms with the fact that this is a business
Mhm.
and this is a company, I think we can both agree that this came to us over time subconsciously, yet also in the blink of an eye. And a little bit, it sometimes feels like we're playing house, like we're playing company on TV, you know, because
I'm
we're
COO,
yes,
Barbie.
yes. And I think that that's a confidence issue. You probably see this a lot across our healthcare providers. Like you said, many are humble. We're not used to calling attention to money.
Mhm.
As a nurse, you're taught you go in, you get paid what they pay you. There's no negotiation. It is what it is. When I think about colleagues and friends that I have that start their own businesses, or people that you see that are super successful, they are not shy about it. They
Nope.
are uber confident about their product and about what they're doing, and we're not given that expertise or the business mind in our training at all.
No.
You know what? I have actually moved away from the word confidence because it means so many different things to different people. What now I'm also learning as I'm saying it, and the more people I talk to, the more it helps me remember it. I'm saying say it with conviction, not just with confidence.
Yes, I like that.
It's-
Yes.
do conviction, because most of us are confident.
Yes.
Most of us have it. It's just the way to say
These
it,
two
and that is
Yes.
that is
Yes.
that is conviction. How you say
Yes.
things is conviction. People need to hear you say what you like about your product.
Yes.
And it's not just about confidence. There are lots of ways of saying it. And confidence is so beautiful. It even in humbleness and coyness has a confidence.
Yes.
But conviction is certainty. It's a from a quantitative perspective. Now my biotechnology is talking.
I love this. Yes. Connect the dots.
Yeah.
So from a quantitative perspective, conviction has more certainty,
Yes.
whereas confidence has more fluidity. So you cannot quantumize it.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. No, I think that's such a beautiful thing. And often we will have people say to us, in fact, we did 2,000 people that talked to us at this magnet conference said they first thought we were weird, and then they thought we were like selling skincare.
They thought we were making HIVE
or candles or something.
Yeah, candles. We were nurse candle
and then
makers.
we're like, here, you want a sticker? You want a sticker? I mean, it feels uncomfortable. But then when we allowed that conviction to come through with what we're trying to do, we really did connect with people. We had one lady in tears because she just thought what we were doing is exactly what we're missing.
I love your concept.
We had more than one person tell us that talking to us was the most innovative part of the magnet conference.
I just want to say, not because I'm working with them and I have gotten to know them over the course, but when I was in that innovation booth, there was just so much personability. When I met you, Elizabeth, there was just so much passion, and there was just so much, like a feeling of wanting to teach. I meet a lot of educators, and so all of them have different aura and all that, but I really love the aura, and I really love the projection of the execution, like from a vibe perspective that you have around the education piece.
We definitely have HIVE vibes.
Yes, we do. Well, and we did not mean to turn this into a marketing podcast or the HIVE, but I think it's important that we're living it right now. We are living examples of this.
One of the important things of nursepreneurship is supporting each other's businesses. And I'm a very big advocate of this, and I do make intentionally LinkedIn podcasts, LinkedIn posts around it that let's celebrate each other and all that. So if you, believe you me, you'll have a lot more outcomes because we speak the same language. So you don't have to break any of those barriers and stuff like that. So it's basically celebration of nursepreneurship.
Yes.
And what better way when you elevate each other? So it was me
100%.
intentional about elevating fellow nurse entrepreneurs because I want the audience to do the same for other nurse entrepreneurs.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's like one of the take-home messages that we got from the Magnet Conference was that innovation isn't just an individual piece. We work better together as teams. We at HIVE Nurse, we take a strong stance that we try to work with other nurses and other nurse entrepreneurs. So, for example, Sara helps us with our marketing and things like that. A friend of ours owns a photography business, did our headshots for us, who is a nurse. So we make it a really pointed effort to make sure that we're including nurses in the entire HIVE.
I mean, that's the whole core of it, helping implement viable ecosystems across our profession to help not only elevate the entrepreneurs, but the people at the bedside, because we also have people inventing new ways to practice in those cocoons of organizations that they're in. And often they're doing that in silence or in secret among their teams, when really we should be celebrating the good that's going on across our organizations.
Some of the hospitals have done one of the things that I really enjoy about learning of the concept. I'm just saying that, so that you guys can also think of some, while we are talking about this, you can also think of some concepts, and the juices run in there. Is one of the things that I really liked is if a hospital is successful, why not take the success to another hospital?
Yes.
And there were actually magnets, I know that we talk about a lot of burnout and fatigue and stuff like this, but actually they're in a good hospital that is designed for nurse growth. Nurses are very happy. I met magnet nurses who were like, we are through and through bedside nurses. We are not going anywhere. They looked happy. They looked fulfilled. They looked like their soul is happy with what they're doing. It's not just happiness about getting paid and all that. It's about that feeling that I have done something special. Wow. And they really did that. And so certain businesses like HIVE Nurses are supporting those hospitals to take that synergy to other hospitals who may be doing a fabulous job, but they just need a little bit more push.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
So as we're getting ready to wrap up, what would be the best advice besides save $10,000 for a nurse who is really passionate about something,
conviction.
has that conviction? Yeah, has that conviction. What would you recommend that they do as their next tangible step besides the $10,000?
Don't do everything by yourself. Have a good support system. Find a consultant, find somebody who can guide you, because doing it all by yourself, what you could do in 3 weeks will take you a whole year. And I've seen nurses like this. They tried to find these AI tools to brand themselves and they went nowhere. They then had LLC problems, which I ended up talking to their lawyers. It happened. It's not what I typically do, but I had to design whole emails. I had to talk to the lawyers because there were certain laws, which I learned over the course of making my own LLC. There are some copyright issues. There are some law related issues. There are website laws, which we also talked about during the audit. So these are some of the things that please don't put your intellectual property at risk. So find somebody who can guide you in the process. Have a business strategy before branding. Have a branding strategy before marketing. These are some of the steps. These are the ways you can save money. And so try not to do everything. You are a boss now. You are a CEO. You need to talk to people who take your services, not do some Canva stuff. I mean, if you want to learn it as a skill, that's excellent. And at the back end, if nobody's available, it's kind of a good thing to have it. But really, when you're looking at impact, you need to focus your energy more on areas where you're actually good at, where your gifts are.
Yes.
That's such great advice.
Very good advice.
So wrapping up today, we learned how important it is to have some money if we want to be nurspreneurs. We learned how important it is to have conviction, and also how important it is that we do hire people or find mentors to help us through a lot of these things.
Sorry, thank you so much.
Yes.
I think this was so valuable, not only for us, but for our other people out there looking to be nurspreneurs.
Very good. I'm glad that thank you for having me and thank you for asking those questions. I think we do need to spread that concept around and it's doable. A lot of people are in that dream stage, but not in the action stage. So I think this podcast would definitely help them with that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us on Hive Nurse today. Remember to follow us on all the things. We have our social media, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, etc. Remember, you can log into Hive Nurse and purchase a membership to get CE for just listening to this podcast today. Really look forward to hearing from you. If you're interested in being a guest on our podcast, please reach out to contact us on our page. We love to have more nurse entrepreneurs or nurspreneurs.
Yeah, tell us what you're doing.
Tell us what you're doing. We want to know.
Let us be part of it. Let us, elevate you in what you're trying to do.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.